Welcome back, everyone. Another big week on the pod. Prelim week. We're all excited about it. Maybe apart from Train, Cirelli, if you know what I'm talking about. We're excited. We go through this week's games, last week's games. We dissect both of them, and we talk about the Brownlow. Can't wait for you to listen.
This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.
All right, Tommy, let's get stuck into the podcast, mate. Welcome back, everyone. Another big week on the pod. I'm excited to see you, Tommy. I'm doing the intro. It's a bit out of character for us. You look a bit unwell. What's been happening?
Well, it's a big week.
What do you mean?
It's prelim week.
Oh no, you're not going there, are you? I thought this was past you. I thought you were beyond this.
Oh, there's a few demons starting to come back, mate. Prelim week.
We're not talking about the infamous. Do we talk about it? Talk to Uncle Piggy, mate. Talk to Uncle Piggy. You're all right, Uncle Piggy. No,
what's it like winning one, mate?
Get under me, mate. Get under my shoulder.
What's it like winning the prelim, mate?
Well, you lost it for your team. Not only did you. So I knew it would bring up some demons. It'd be a bit weird coming in here today, but I didn't think you were still thinking about this kind of stuff.
Mate, I haven't slept since, to be honest. I haven't had an 8-hour sleep since that night.
Big Cyril's had a few good sleeps. Well, talk us through it, mate. We're in prelim week.
He's that happy with himself. He retired the next year, didn't he? He goes, I've done it all.
For anyone that doesn't know, Big Tommy's it's prelim week. He's a bit nervous. He's lost some sleep over the years of one of the biggest blunders in prelim history. Talk us through it, mate. I know it's...
as you know, it's not an easy place to play a prelim.
Down at Subi?
Yeah, Subi.
Yeah, well, it was your home team.
I know, but sometimes there's a bit of dew on the ball, especially late in the last quarter.
Sweaty.
Tendon Mazungu, he runs hard. He's very slippery.
He kicked it too, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I think he wiped the ball on his jersey as he got the free kick, just lubed it right up for the train on the switch. And as you know, how many times does your eyes light up with the switch kick, knowing you got the fat side kick ready to go? I had a bloke on the wing and
you're spending it before you even get it.
I spent it. I could hear the footsteps of the Cyril Rioli behind, and the body just gave way.
There's no more nervous you can be than when the ball's 3 meters away. You should mark it. You're thinking, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. And then Cyril's bearing down on you, and then you trip over in the process.
Do you know what? We watched it this morning. I was like, I think I'll watch this again because I haven't watched the prelim back. And it's the biggest mare ever. The legs collapsed. I've tripped over my feet, and then fucking Cyril picks it up and he snaps it from 49. And the ball, I remember live. It was heading for the post, and it's just a beautiful little leg break through the middle. And then David Hale gives me a little bump afterwards. You'll see on the footage.
Yeah, you don't need that.
And then he coached me the next year because he retired and became our forwards coach. And I'm good mates with Haley. We play golf together. He's the nicest guy ever, but I just look at this and go, what could have been? We're down by 9. I get the kick. We switch it.
You were going all right before that?
Mate, going very well. Playing loose. 20-odd in a prelim. That's not easy.
So you would have kept your spot.
Kept me spot. First one picked. Went from fucking one of the, they're going all right to one of the first blokes out the next year.
Mate, people forget.
Yeah. What's your advice? They don't forget. What's your advice?
Mate, prelim week. I've got a bit of a haunting story for you too. In 2018, we were on fire. We beat Geelong. We beat Hawthorn. We're probably the form team. We go over to West Coast, so we only beat in the last round. We beat them by about 6 goals in the last round. Go over to West Coast. I fly my family over.
Oh, that's expensive.
Yeah. Brother, cousins, missus, one of my mates. And in the halfway through the first quarter, we're down by 7 goals and not looking like it. My brother at quarter time went to the casino, went to the pub at the casino, didn't want to watch any more of it. I was like, yeah, he just left. I was dirty with him. Well, at least stick around for the last 3 quarters. It's a prelim final, but no, he's like, fuck this.
That's outstanding.
I'm about a couple of grand out of my pocket, and he didn't even watch the whole game. So
and the tickets aren't cheap either.
Oh, mate, yeah, because you can flog those tickets off if you want.
Yeah,
not that people do that, but apparently they do. And they're expensive tickets, expensive flights, and we got absolutely.
These boys have done it quarter time.
At
least the train rocked up in the middle of the third and thought, I'll fucking give up now. I'll just drop me. I'll just
do the last, wasn't
That's
it?
what I mean, the last quarter. I'll just wait till the last quarter and I'll just hand it over to Cyril.
Oh,
Fuck,
mate.
it kills me.
No, so we're just having a laugh, mate. Hope you sleep well tonight.
I'll call the psychologist after this.
Uncle Piggy under here,
Uncle Piggy.
Anyway, what's happening, mate?
Very good. Prelim week pump, mate. It's a lot going on at the moment. A bit the RIXX party Thursday night, which we love. Man, a couple of sherbets. It's been a long time since we
haven't had a drink in since the night we met, and we met before that, but. I agreed to this on the piss.
That was a hit out.
That was the last time we got
the piss. That was a proper hit out. We've had a few beers after.
What am I going to agree to this time?
well, discussing the contract negotiations are starting. I've heard the big call. He goes, mate, I'm pretty busy these days. So they've already started. So we'll have to see what I've got on Thursday night at about 1 a.m. But, mate, big week. Plenty of footy news. We'll dive straight in. And for everyone listening and tuning in, we're going to finish off with a bang. So me and you are going to bring a few guests in next week. We're going to try. Well, we'll try. We've got jerseys. I don't know if anyone realised. We've got the jerseys there to give away. We're going to try and get a couple more. I've spoken to the Nut. The Nut will be there tomorrow night, but I've said you're coming on next week.
Has he agreed to? Has he said he's coming? So he's coming Thursday night?
He's agreed to everything. So as we know, it's just can he keep the promise?
Oh, probably not.
Mate, plenty. But like next week, we'll give everything. We've already given everything, but next week
it's been a good year. We'll finish off on a bang.
Great. Hey, Melky signed another year.
Yeah, another year for the.
I remember him telling us on the piss. I reckon it was Tomo's Bucks that he said he's got one more in him. But
and how long ago was that?
Well, that would have been a year ago.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Times have changed. I reckon he's come back and he's...
he missed most of the year with his knee, obviously. Came back, had some good games, went in as a sub twice, played a good last game.
Well, I reckon that they need him more. You know what I mean? It's like when you get to a bit older, that's like, you're on... He's still one of the most important players up there.
Well, if they were in a rebuild or whatever, they get rid of the older guys, but... They must still think they're in the window. The players and the coaches must still think they're in a window to compete next year. So why not keep a 33-year-old guy that still has a bit of run in the legs? Good on Melky.
Good on you, Melky. We love it. He might even be a chance next. Oh no, you said he's away.
He's away.
Okay, set the scene. Today we're going to get rid of the grouse and the pooch because we want to talk more footy and we want to review last week's semis and the prelims coming up. But we'll start off the top and we'll talk about the horny one. Costing the boys our multi on the Aces Sportsbet feed. If you haven't followed it, follow it because we're due.
One touch.
We need one disposal from the horny one with 2.5 minutes to go. And what's he done, Pig?
Well, North used to carry on and they got rid of him because of his unprofessionalism. You can't be cramping in the last quarter of a final when the Pigs got you for 20 touches and finish up on 19. I've been starved of a multi all year. And... What do you call it? JHF or Jaden? What's his name? What's his name? I forgot his name. That's how angry I am. The horny one has missed out by one touch. It is sickening how cruel this game is.
Mate, I thought he got shot. He was carried off like Jesus Christ on the cross.
I haven't brought this up with you, and I've just remembered. You messaged me. Well done, mate.
I went early crow.
You've early crowed me. And I said, you haven't, have you? You haven't.
He had 17 and 3/4 time. I said, we just need 3 touches.
You're like, well done, mate. Great bet. I was like, you didn't do it, did you? You didn't do it. And what happens? I wake up in the morning because I fell asleep. And then I'm like, hold on a second. Thought it was home.
I was counting it. I'm like, oh no, Pig hasn't messaged me.
I just thought it was home after your message. And I'm like, hold on. Check in the morning. 20.
I thought he blew his quad out and they put him full forward. He's kicked a goal. I go, righto, well, there's 2 more touches required. He gets one and the centre square bounces 3 to go and his leg stiffens up and, mate, had to be carried off the ground with cramp. I thought he did his hammy off the bone or his quad or something and it was cramp. So he's gone off and missed the last 2.5, 3 minutes on ball and we needed one stat.
One.
How many blokes out there do you reckon, and women, have just copped one stat or 1 yard or whatever?
One
it's just
leg.
always one leg, but like one disposal.
It's sickening how well Sportsbet end up with it. Like you don't hear many good stories of I got it by one.
I'd love Sportsbet to bring out a series where they give
Bad
punters,
beats.
just bad beats, and they bring out just, I don't know what they can do confidentially. Maybe don't name the person, but look at this bet. There's a lot of stiff people out there.
There's one in the in the NFL. There's a one on YouTube, and it says about punters' bad beats, and it's like they'll be up by two points, and with the ball, and someone will fumble and get a field goal in the last second or something like that. So it's pretty interesting. That'd be interesting to see. What else, mate?
Other thing to talk about, which you can talk about, but the tipping competition is officially over. With 2 rounds to go, prelim and granny, you've absolutely wiped me out. It hurts. I'm actually a bit rattled, to be honest, because I thought you were going to be.
You had one tip. Have you tipped any right?
Yeah, tip 1.
Tip 1 in 6 games.
Yeah, tip 1. But I had to go Hawthorn. I wanted to go Port.
Yeah.
And
did you? I tipped Port and you...
No, I just thought Port at home and that stat. Remember that stat I brought up about how the semi-finals?
I think you seemed pretty shocked when Pig went Port.
I tipped Port. I reckon he was like, fine. I'm going on.
You did. Selling it for the APC listeners.
No way.
I was just selling it.
You were wrapped about
a lot of
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn fans out there. They're trying jumping on just in case. I had to do the opposite of you, mate. You went Port. I had to go Hawks.
That's right. I'm glad you brought that up. You had to go the opposite. And what happened with the GWS
I
game?
went the
one game you would have got a tip.
I
You
went
went
the Giants. Oh, mate, I can't. We'll talk about that in a second. I can't fucking believe what happened there.
Wow. But hold on. How are you going to attack this bet? When are you going to do it? Because it's over now. You can do it now.
I tried to do 1,000 the other day on one of the cardio machines, and I did 500 in 51 minutes, and I'm like, nah, I'm getting off.
And what did you say to me yesterday on the phone? You're like, mate, I'm going to have to, 3,000 is a lot. I'm going to have to go outside for a run. I said, no, mate. The rule is you enter the gym, you can't exit.
Yeah. Nah,
so you can get on the treadie. You can watch. You can watch primetime football on your phone. Or
I'm gonna have to do that on the bike. But I think the way I'm going to attack it is I'm going to have to try get a 45 to an hour run. I reckon I can get about 1,200, 1,500 calories, and then I've got to just grind my way through. And
take your laptop in, take some lunch.
I'm going to have to take a fair bit of hydration in.
We know you like your hydration after the other week. You had 14
Coming from a bloke that hasn't done 1,000 cal, you've never done 1,000. Try to do 3,000, man. I'm going to be depleted, and I've got to do it after the granny week. You know how much piss you drink that week?
We can do it before that if you want.
No, we'll do it after.
All right.
Because I'll actually need to. All right, it's time to talk about.
I think the dumplings are still an option. 60 dumplings.
That's
60
pigs. That's what pig. I couldn't do 60
Mate,
dumplings.
Bring 60 in your next pod and just annihilate them on camera.
I reckon if you want to do that, I'm all for it. Oh, what's the hot dog man's name? I can't remember his name.
Some people at work the other day, they're like, 60's a lot. I was like, mate, I reckon I could do 60 on one leg.
I don't reckon you could get over 42.
Why 42? It's a weird number.
Just put me Sportsbet hat on, 42 and a half. But that's me over and under.
Is that your...
I reckon 42 dumplings.
Bring it on.
Dumplings?
I reckon I could do it in 10 minutes.
Jeez, I'd love to. And you can't throw it up. You got an hour to sit it down the guts.
Why would I throw it up? They're delicious.
Because there's 42 dumplings in your guts.
If he doesn't finish the dumplings, he's got to join you in the gym for your calorie
I'll
loss.
probably need to.
Yeah, he'll need to do 4,000 cal. Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's dive into the games. Let's talk a bit of footy. Start off with my boys, the Giants, going down to the Lions. It's funny. We're just having a laugh. Dunks could clearly pick up. Good luck today, mate. I sent him a couple messages, but he knew I was going for the Giants. And then when he won, too good today, mate. Jeez, it killed me right in that. Sent Lockie Neal a message. Congrats, brother. You guys too good. What a game. But the Giants boys, I haven't had contact with many. Just I don't know what to say. I will in a week.
That's scarring. 2 weeks in a row.
Scarring. But as a viewer as well, it was
it's hard to watch.
Well, Sydney was hard enough, but watching it on the tally, I was fucking. Do you get a bit aggressive when you watch footy?
Not anymore.
In
only when the horny one lets me down by one stat. That's when I get aggressive. But 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, it was.
Like Hogs did everything he could. He was unbelievable.
Toby played outstanding.
Toby was good, especially when Starcevic has had his number.
Tommy Green was great. Like a lot of their players stood up. It's just the last half they leaked. Like I think I read it was like 70 points.
Do you know what I think? And this,
I'm keen to get your thoughts on it.
Analyst when it comes to footy, but I think they're better chasing or like keeping their speed on the game and playing with dare and flair and playing quick.
Yep.
When they have to shut everything down, play slow, chip mark, protect the lead, they lose all their identity, and I just don't think they know how to play that way. And it's like, well, if they kept playing fast and they lost, everyone would be like, what are you doing? You don't need to play that way. But they don't know how to. It's like they don't know how to play safe and slow and control the ball and protect the lead because, well, clearly they don't. It's happened 2 weeks in a row. So in a way, in hindsight, they just need to keep their identity. Just go a bit faster. Like I thought Toby Bedford was awesome on the weekend too.
Yeah, he's had a
started
great year.
A few really good early goals for him, and he missed he missed a couple of weeks prior with the calf, but. They needed a bit more of him with keeping the pace on the ball later when they were protecting a lead. Like scoring goals is just as good as stopping them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it was a hard watch. I don't know what a biggest semi-final comeback would be. Brado knows, but
That was it.
that's the biggest. Yeah, I thought
Third
so.
biggest comeback in history,
48
wasn't
points
it?
or something like that. That's crazy.
Sick,
and
man.
that must be so good for Brisbane and their confidence to be able to win like that because historically, I don't know. I don't think they've been a big comeback from behind team either. They usually get in front
I
and
read
just
a
hold
stat
their
that their
lead.
first quarters are right up there in the comp, but their last quarters are, I think they were 18th or they were horrific.
Yeah.
But they've done the opposite in
Well,
a semi.
I saw Fagan even said that. He said, that's not usually how we play. We usually try to get out in front and protect our leagues or leads or kick on with them. So that must be really big for their confidence this week. They've got Geelong here.
Saturday night, I'm going.
Saturday. Oh, you're going?
Yep. Can't wait.
And,
Prelims are grouse, man. Depending if you're playing in them.
Yeah, expensive. Yeah, but
Fuck,
Mazungu's kicking it to you and you
I
drop
wonder
it.
what all my friends and family were thinking when I.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, how flat are we talking about a couple of their teams? Imagine that blunder, then watching it. Oh, geez, you wouldn't want to be in the stands. Mate, it's prelim week. It's exciting, but yeah, Brizzy. Let's just talk about Joe Danaher though. I want to talk about Will Ashcroft to start. I just thought he went on ball, and I reckon he turned the game. It was like he wasn't getting enough opportunity, or wasn't the hit to, or something. But him and his blonde locks just got to work. You know, there was a tackle where he got 3 blokes on him, and he just grinded his way through it. Ball security, popped a handball out, and
Was that goal?
Yeah, Loman kicks the goal, and I thought that is. There's 2 things there. You know, you shouldn't allow that from a Giants perspective. But on the other end, I mean, that's a young player coming off a sustained ACL injury and just bursting his way through. That's all the training and work he's done. I just thought he got him going. And then Joey Danaher, who has copped that much criticism. I'd love to have a clip of all the people that have just, sprayed him about his goal kicking. And this bloke is a quiet, humble, great fella who just, as you know, he's a bit different. He lives miles away from the footy club, but he does what he's got to do. But from what I've been told, he works so hard on his craft, which is goal kicking, which has gotten away from him in the past. And to go back and kick those 2 sausage rolls late, and I reckon the second one, the first one was hard. It's a very tough kick. The wind brings it back, but he's not expected to kick it. So that goes through. It's the next one, 15, 20 out on a slight angle. You miss it, your game's probably, maybe they don't win. He kicks it and he flushes it, and it's confidence and it's training and it's repetition and it's all the hard work he's been putting in. I was pretty happy to see that after the game for him, just knowing that all his teammates have seen how hard he's worked, and he didn't talk about it too much because he's pretty humble and doesn't want to pump himself up. But how good was that to see? And I think from, playing the game, how hard the blokes work behind the scenes, even though they're copping it externally.
Yeah, I loved it because, I know Joey well. He's a mate of mine, played footy with him, and he does work hard on his goal kicking. And over the years, you've seen him miss the sitters from 20 out, 30 out, 45-degree angle, whatever it is, straight out in front. But then he'll bomb the ones from 60 on the run, which big guys just shouldn't be able to do, or he'll kick them from outside 50. So it was good to see the fruits of his labour, kicking 2 big last quarter goals in big moments and kicking them straight down the middle. Because these big forwards and small forwards, anyone that kicks goals or plays in the forward line, they work so hard on their goal kicking, and it sometimes doesn't come up on game day for whatever reason. But to see the big fella do that and put him through to a prelim and hopefully give him another chance at a flag this year, because after last year, it was good to see.
We're going to talk about the prelims later on, but Jessa Cameron at one end and Joey at the other end, that's what you want in a final. Yeah. That's what your 2 great forwards going head-to-head. They could both kick 5.
Well, it's like on the weekend, Hogues and Joey. That's what you come to the footy to see, big forwards kick bags. And Hogues, we spoke about the year he had, but now Joey's, he's still one of the best forwards in the comp. I don't care what anyone says.
Hogues has broken the record at the Giants for most goals in a season. And Jesse Cameron's been a Coleman medalist and played in grannies. He's kicked the most goals of any Giant ever. He's had some sort of year, and he's got plenty of footy left in him. It's awesome. We could talk about him for hours, how he's turned it around. Let's go to the Hawks and Port loss. We're going to stay away from the drama at the end because we're going to talk about that later in depth. We've got something for you, so hang around there. But the game, you fell asleep.
Well, I fell asleep. I have to catch up the next day. I'm up early, so I watched the game in the end. But another game where Hawks should have won. Obviously the stuff after the game, but
probably the first quarter, I reckon. That's what cost them.
Another cracking game. But once Port get out to a big lead, it's hard in finals.
I tell you what, Willie Rioli was good. Yeah. There's something about his intensity lifted. It wasn't there the week. When I say it wasn't there, it was all right, but it was a different level. He was throwing his body around. He was throwing it, whether it was trying to get a free kick, tackle, pressure, bump, goals, clean.
And Hardwick just going at it. Hardwick gets, and they're both tough, as we know, but that was a real good battle early that everyone was enjoying watching. The commentators were loving it. I was loving it because, guys like Willie, I played on those crafty fields. I know how mentally draining it is for someone like Hardwick, who he's got to attack as well, but he's playing on a crafty bloke that can kick 4 or 5 like that and doesn't need a big opportunity. So that was good to see. I'll tell you who's playing awesome, Burgoyne.
Yeah.
Oh, he was best on ground.
Did you see him after the game?
Nah.
You know what you win. So he's best on ground, right?
Yeah, 25-1.
And guess what you get when you win? When you're primetime TV for Channel 7.
TV.
And guess what he said?
What?
He goes, beautiful. Now I can put the races on and I'll put 2 TVs in the lounge room.
You see that on TV?
He goes, one's going to be a punting TV and one's going to be a normal one. I swear to God.
That's awesome.
What a weapon.
They should give him another one.
They should give him 3 so we can put Sky 2 on the other one.
Oh, that's funny.
How good is that? He said live. He goes, oh, that's perfect. That'll be my punting TV. I was like, Jace. I didn't think Jason had that in him. I thought he was a very young, shy, man, but he's one of us.
Loves the thoroughbreds.
He loves the thorough. I reckon he'd be on the greyhounds, old Jason.
You're on the dishes. It's no good.
He's built like a greyhound.
Yeah, mate, he's playing like one. He's zipping around everywhere on the weekend.
He was outstanding. His goal, he flushed it. When he got it, he come in half back. He's half forward, was trying to defend the ground in the D50, and he just sagged off him, ball popped out, and smoked a snap through. And that was a bit of a turning point, bit of momentum there.
Yeah.
He was awesome. It's good to see. And Silk was on the commentary, so, it's good to see the Burgoyne family just all over it.
Nephew.
It's his nephew.
Yeah,
it's his
nephew.
Peter's son, yeah.
Yeah.
All righty, let's get to some trade news before we get stuck into this week's games. It's prelim week, and the boys are up and about. Okay, I'll start with the Giants. Isaac Cumming to the Cheese, the Greyhound. We actually call him the Greyhound. He's one of the best. He's a big loss, this. Rumoured to go back to SA. I'm hearing Port Adelaide or Adelaide. Oh, Pig didn't give me anything there. Drado love this.
That's good gear.
That's good gear. You didn't give me anything.
2-club town.
It's a 2-club town. I'm hearing Port or Adelaide. You're a bit slow this morning.
I'll stay through.
Oh, the Pig has given me nothing on that. I thought that was outstanding work. Now you got the delayed laugh.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, hold on, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, what? Oh,
I'm hearing Port or Adelaide.
Well, it's 2-club town.
I know, man.
I don't know. You know him better than me. I don't know a lot
He's
about
good
him.
mates with the Texan. Great mates with the Texan.
Mate,
But
maybe you go to Adelaide then.
Big Texans,
Any other clubs you might go to in SA? Or?
well, he's not going anywhere else, Norwood. But no, he's too good for that. So that's a big loss, though, for the Giants. He's clearly getting paid. Must be getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you can't knock that back. And then
McRae that wants to go to the Saints, but he's 3 years.
Can you believe so can we just pause on McRae? We'll go back. Hainsey from the Giants, rumoured to go to Carlton. Another big loss. Bit of movement from the Giants. Normally they secure all their players, but it's obviously getting to the point where they can't because there's so many guns there.
Well, Haynes hasn't been playing a lot.
No, I'm just saying. It's the first time I've
He'll
started
just be going for opportunities.
Yeah, he's a bit old. He's 31.
The Carlton's back
But
line
McRae, let's go to McRae. Why do clubs extend players, all Australian, maybe 2, 3, I don't know how many, go through the stats, Google it, but what?
Three.
Three-time All-Australian, premiership player, in a window, the Dogs, and you sign him to this massive extension, and he's not the only one, and then they don't play him.
When did they sign him, though? He signed a 5-year deal, so it was a while ago.
Well, Brado might know at the back while we're talking, but he's got 3 to run. So clearly when you're signing these blokes, why would you extend them for, let's say, 5 years and then shaft them 1 year in?
Well,
1 year in. So then 1 year plays, the next year he's on the, he could hardly get a game at the start of the year. Then he was the sub.
He's contracted to the end of 2027.
Yeah, so he's got 3 years.
3 more years.
But when did he sign it?
Well, he wants to leave. I don't think they're saying he wants to.
Mate.
But they're not giving him opportunity.
But
So they're playing him as the sub.
would he be on good coin?
Yeah, it'd have to be.
Exactly.
700 at
Is
least.
he on a long-term deal?
800 even.
Yes. So why the fuck are you not playing him? Was he just lost the mojo?
Well, you've spoken, you've dug the heels into Bevo all year. So
Well,
do we
he does
put it
some
on?
weird shit.
Do we put it on Bevo? Like, why isn't he picking him? Because I know.
Let's remind our listeners and viewers that he didn't play Dale at the start of the year.
It's crazy.
Didn't play him.
And
Made
then
him come off the bench.
And he was dominating by the end.
One of their best players.
40 and
so how does it get to that point?
I don't know. I think when it's what I've found over the years, once coaches have any perception of anything, it could be one contest, one bad game, one training session. If they see something they don't like, it's like the old it takes years to gain respect and it takes a minute to get rid of it, or whatever that saying is. It's like that with coaches, I think, sometimes. Once they think you're soft, you're a bad teammate, or you're selfish, or whatever it is.
Piss and fucked up.
Exactly. Unprofessional, and they get this little bee in their bonnet about that. I don't know what, I'm not saying that this has happened with McRae, but I know that I've seen it happen over the years, that it's pretty hard to peg back. It takes time. And maybe Bevo saw something, maybe he's poor defensively. He wasn't buying into team defense because we know he gets the ball and he's good with the ball and all that. And but maybe he saw something like that and he's like, I'm not copping this anymore. That I don't know. I'm just brainstorming ideas here of maybe why, because it doesn't make sense to me because he's an absolute star. So
we love our NFL fantasy, and one thing we always speak about is follow the money. So if someone's getting paid, follow it. In AFL, same thing. Follow the money. And back in the money, and they're paying these blokes, and there's a long-term deal. So it's more about, I reckon, if you're overseeing the program, what it does to the locker room when you drop a bloke that is meant to be your leader, it rattles everyone because they go, well, hang on, I've been working with this guy behind the scenes, and now you're telling me he's not now 22. And 22, let's be honest, 22, when there's 40-odd on a list, half of them haven't even developed. So if you're not in the 22, you're gone.
Yeah. What I will say to that is, Bevo doesn't care about the contracts. He's got a list in front of him. He'll probably, even though it's not true, he'll say we're all equals. I don't care how much money you're on me, how many years you've been playing. I'm picking who I think the best 22 is, regardless of what you've done prior. You hear that all the time. It's not true, but he'll be saying that. He don't care how much money on how long his deal is. That's on list management. He's going to pick everyone on their merits at that moment. But also, it sends a message like no one's safe. Like if Jack McRae's getting dropped, anyone could get dropped. So maybe it keeps people on their toes.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that. But after 4 or 5 weeks, the start of the year, it's like, anyway, we're not. those are the decisions. So McRae to St Kilda, it just
I hope he goes.
it rattles me when you get a long-term deal and then they go, you know what, we squeeze you out the side actually, and you can go.
100% agree. So I hope he gets where he
Bailey
wants
Smith,
to.
the Baz Linker, I'm hearing Geelong.
Pretty much locked to Geelong.
Yeah.
Got to get the deal done, I think. So.
Yep.
Stringer's gone.
Stringer, you said maybe to Collingwood, but we're hearing today that no.
I know that the rumour was that he's played his last game at Essendon or whatever. Did we say that last week? Or
Well, that was what come out. Where do you think he should go?
Well, I think he should go to a team that will compete for a
Suns?
flag. Would you say your Suns are competing for a flag next year?
They need to compete for finals.
Well, yeah.
Although
Is he going to be good for that young group? You probably want to go to an established team.
Well, what's the problem with the package?
He's he's obviously a game winner and a star, but very inconsistent in his prep, I think. And I think maybe they've caught.
Do you reckon the penny will drop now that he's not getting, because he's definitely worth more than what he's being offered, but it's because of what you just said. He's not.
Well,
Do you reckon the penny might drop?
Of the year, he was out of contract and he's flying. He come back fit, and I was like, this is typical out of contract player stuff, you know. Maybe you got a bit fatigued, maybe too fit, too early. I don't know. Hopefully the penny drops. He is older though. Like he'll be in his 30s.
30. He'll be 30. He's a year below me.
Yeah, so
29, 30.
Don't know. I think he'll go somewhere, and I think he'll impact. So because he's got that in him, prove something to a new team, new group, new players, coaches.
Where do you reckon he'll go?
I mean, John can't get everyone, but geez, he'd be good there.
Do you reckon he cares where he goes?
Yeah, maybe you go to Hawthorn. Imagine if you went to Hawthorn.
I don't reckon they need him.
He's not going to go to Richmond or something like that who are rebuilding. They're not going to get him. I don't know. I don't know. I thought Collingwood were a good fit for him.
What about the Ds? They need some forwards.
Wouldn't be out of the question, to be honest.
I reckon the Ds would be where I'd be sending him.
Yeah, he'd be. I'm sure Goody will look at it.
Oh, they need something. They need a forward. They haven't had a forward in 20 years?
He's not a key forward. They need a key forward.
But
They need a Tom Lynch or whatever. The rumors are that Van Ruin's good, but he needs some.
Tommy Lynch to the Ds?
But apparently that was a rumor I saw the other day. Potentially,
It'd be a good trade
for him though.
Well, it'd be a good trade. Do they have any picks, the Ds?
Probably got a mountain of them after the year they had.
Couple more, Pig. This is trade news and weird news. We spoke about some weird coaching moves, and that come from the Carlton Footy Club and the Doggies. Well, I'll start with Matt Owies. Do you reckon he had a good year?
Was he second or third in their goal kicking? Yeah.
Small forward.
Yep.
Not offered a contract.
Bizarre.
Jack Martin been delisted?
He got delisted. See, I forgot. Sorry, I'm glad you brought that up. That is, someone's grabbing him. I know he's been injury riddled, calves, hammies, whatever it is.
Number one pick, wasn't he?
Well, I think he was the academy pick or whatever it was, or the
Gold Coast.
Yeah, but he would have went pick one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if he was pick one.
Touted one though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's touted one. Yep.
So he's delisted, and Matt Owies hasn't.
He'd be 20.
Not 28, 29. But Matt Owies hasn't been offered a contract. Now, I don't know what recruiters are doing these days, but what else does he have to do to get a contract at Carlton? Is he not defending or something? Like, does it even matter?
I think
that's what I'm saying. He definitely is to my eye. How does he not get offered a contract?
I don't.
Is it a fact? He's maybe they're negotiating a price behind the scenes and they haven't locked in a contract.
Yeah, so I think it's probably they're waiting it out. Waiting it out to see if
who they can get.
So you think he would sign a contract, but it's a matter of how much. Because the fact that he hasn't signed yet, though, I felt like he's a really important player for their club. I'm surprised. But the other one, our man Kennedy, who was subbed out in record time, he's been asked to explore his options.
Well, someone will grab him too. That's
a stiff end of the year, isn't it?
Jeez.
Like you've had the bub, and then you've flown to Brizzy, probably.
Subbed out at the earliest time.
Budget airline in economy, 20D or some shit, just to get on a last seat.
Apparently. That was the rumour. He was strapped into the toilet. He couldn't even get a seat.
He's drinking Hydrolyte through a tap. He's rolled in. He's hydrated, ready to go, and subbed out within the first few minutes.
Yeah, so he's had a bit of a mare. Poor bloke. Anyway. But someone will grab those two guys. But it's just like, if you want to play at a big club like Carlton and stay there with your mates,
you know what it tells me?
It's a shame.
You know what it tells me? You don't have to be you don't have to be too intelligent to work this out. I reckon Carlton's making a big move.
That's what I was just thinking.
I reckon there's a big bombshell coming.
They need to keep some money in the cap.
I reckon they're working on something, and we'll be sitting back having a giggle in a few weeks and trade week, going, this is why they've asked him to explore and they're waiting to sign OEs and all this because they're bringing in something that no one's talking about.
Well, Jack Martin will open up a lot of cap room. He was on big money. I think it was front-ended, but
he copped a whack, I heard.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, what's worse, getting 1.8 mil and getting half of that cut, or being on 80 grand as a rookie in your last year and getting 40?
Mate, imagine not getting 900K because everyone.
I think you get a bit back now, don't you?
A little bit, not much, man.
But can you believe they cut 80 grand rookies into 40? I mean, what are they thinking? Paying to play AFL.
Sucks. That's
how his career went, mate.
It's all part of it, mate.
Righto, Brownlow night. We love Brownlow night. Both of us have polled votes, which we love. I got me one vote against the Essendon. I think the Essendon top-ups, which we love. You've had a few votes, a few big days. Brownlow night is a 2-horse race. Anyone that hasn't looked at the odds, go on Sportsbet. You get $2.50 for Dacos or Cripps. And then it's daylight. Lockie Neal at 8.
Spont at 13.
And then I think Tom Green 67. So they are saying that it's going to be a 2-horse race. And I know my man Cam Luke on Armchair Experts, he is obsessed with doing weird shit. And he thinks it'll be a tie. And you can get $5.50 if it's a tie with 2 players, which you don't like. But
I don't like
that $2.50, that doesn't interest me. But we're going to do a little bit of a multi up there on the feed for all the winners at each club, aren't we?
We are.
And we'll try to get $6. Last year's Brownlow, there was some weird stuff going on. I think the horny one might have got 3 votes with 12 disposals, and that's about it. And there's a few other games, as we know, that didn't go Dacos's way. Who do you think wins it?
Well, I think Cripps wins, and I've said this a few times now, but it wouldn't surprise me if Neil wins again. He's a proven vote getter. Like, he just even some games where you don't think he's going to get votes, he does. I'd like to see. I don't want to see. I like Cripps. Great bloke, great player, but I feel like Dacos should win one, and I'd like to see him win. I know a lot of people that don't like Collingwood wouldn't want to hear that. I'd like to see him or Bont win, but I think Cripps wins. I just think he had some standout games, and some games where he only needs 24, 25, just touches in the middle, kicks a goal. He's a brute around the contest that stands out as the umpires are right there. He's always their best, most influential player, and playing against him, even when I've stepped off the ground, I'm like, oh, he was best on, but he's only had 22 touches. Do you know what I mean? And his stats suggest, I think he would average nearly 30 or something. So I think he wins, but I'd like to see Dacos or Bont win. So
I think Nick Dacos will win.
Yeah.
I just thought his end of the year. When I feel I can see him just storming home. I reckon he gets 6, 7 best on grounds in a row almost at the end of the year. He was doing some freak. What did he have? 40 in the last game and kicked 2. There was a game I think he played. I don't know who it was. He had I can't remember what game it was. One of the second or third last game of the year. We'll have to look at it. But he had 14 disposals in one quarter and kicked 2. It's just umpires will see that. Bang, 3 votes.
They win enough games though.
Doesn't matter with this medal. I think about it. Most blokes not most blokes, but it's not like a player that didn't make finals doesn't win it. You see it all the time.
In the last few years, I think Cripps won when they didn't play finals.
Yeah.
But, it
comes down to the threes.
Before that, it was always, I think it was Crawford that won one when they didn't play finals. Then after that, it was nearly grand final team, like every year.
Yeah. I think Swanee said he won. He was on the water one year when he won it, I think.
When he what?
When he won a Brownlow. He was on the waters because he's got to play, so he's...
Yeah.
That ruins the speech.
10 or whatever it was, I think, when they... Yeah.
Who would you... I mean, I'd love Tom Green. I'd love just his speech. I just know that you'd get a real good interview. How good's the interview after they win it?
Yeah. What's he... He's not winning.
He's 67s. He's not going to win it.
See, Goulden's 67s as well. I feel like Tom Green had a much better year in terms of best ons, and Goulden was great. I think he was all Australian on the wing, but... I'm looking forward to seeing. There was a patch early where he was struggling a little bit.
Okay, here's one. We'll put this up. Who do you think will... Oh, no, Heaney's out. Do you reckon Heaney will go real close, even though he's reported?
But he slowed down a bit late. Obviously had a blinder.
His finals are outstanding, but that doesn't count.
I think once he copped the suspension, he slowed down a little bit. He might have one best on after that. So I think he'll be top 5, but I don't know if he'll win it.
Well, mate, you know what time it is, and I've got a little present for you. I'll get them out the box, but we've been hearing you complaining about, the train giving you the large Sohos and Melrose, but you want the cherries.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
It's time to pop the cherry, big boy. It's time to pop the Soho
you'll be
cherries.
hanging for these. You'll be guilty.
There you go.
Just before the RIXX party, I'm just going to roll in.
I reckon you put the hat backwards while you're wearing them. Just look at that. It's spring into summer like the pig with your Soho larges in the cherry. If you've got a large head,
these are awesome.
Tell everyone why they're good if you got a large head.
Every week I have to explain, I've got a big head. They fit well, all right? I've got a big pill. You got a little pip head. They look all right. They feel good. They're just comfy. They look good. I don't know what you want from me here, but I'm sick of hearing about how my head is. And you know what? This is a stop that too. You know how every time I go on like Insta or Facebook or whatever and it pops up with sponsored ads and it's this clip of Maisie and you going, here, put it on your big head. It's all the time, man. I'll flick through and it's in my algorithm, so it's always RIXX. And it's like, Hibbo's got a big head and it's me putting sunnies on. I've had a gut for it. I'm going to block RIXX. How do you do that? How do you get rid of it?
I'll have a chat to the team. They're in Melbourne this week, actually.
It's like they're hand-picking it to send that clip to me. Anyway, yeah, they are good though. The
I love it,
largies.
mate. Well, we've got a joint RIXX eye-catching moment, and for everyone, just let you know that we're going to be we got a birthday sale coming up next week. So if you want to buy a pair, just save your pennies. Little heads up, a little bit of late mail from the train. But we have a special RIXX eye-catching moment, and it was the JJ Liston medal winner. Do you want to let everyone know about our man Dom Brew, the Werribee Tigers beast?
So Dom Brew, he has stormed home in the Liston Trophy, it's a Liston Trophy, JJ Liston Trophy, with 31 votes versus our man's came second, Rory Atkins, the Rat, with 22. So he's won by 9.
Just on that, the Rat was in town. He wanted a coffee, a beer, or whatever. I said, mate, I'm under the pump. How long you here for? I'm down for the medal. I go, you have a chance to win it? And he wrote, huge chance. He wrote, absolute huge chance. And I'm looking at the numbers. He got blown out the park.
Well, it's not his fault.
I'd like him to be second in the seconds. He loves it.
They stopped the count at round 17 because it was 29 to 18, and Rory was only on 16 at that point, so he's come home strong. That's funny. Like, imagine having a few rounds to go and just going, just don't worry about it, guys. Big Brewies won it.
It'd be flat if you polled well in the last and you didn't get any limelight.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Boys, here comes the vote. Oh, let's stop the count.
But yeah, winning by 9 votes. That was my eye catcher, and it's small little man. He's a little man, but he's got a big heart and he plays hard. He's the captain of Werribee. They're playing the grand final this week. I think it's this week
against Southport,
and it's probably something to talk about. Like, does he get? He's polled the most votes in the JJ Liston since Sam Mitchell in 2002.
See, okay, I don't understand how he's not on the list. I don't care what you say, whether he's not that quick. He's not that tall. Apparently, he's tough as nails.
Yep.
Tagging kind of vibe, but wins the hard ball. How someone can win that medal in record amount of votes at 26, which I was always told is your peak fitness from strength and conditioning guys when I was 18, saying that's when you'll be at your peak. How he cannot get on a list. If he doesn't get drafted, I would ask every recruiter in the book that they're conservative and they only do the job to keep their pay packet, because how you cannot take a punt on someone who I think it was real emotional when they won the prelim was my male, and someone that just lives and breathes football and does what he does. How he doesn't get on an AFL list and get an opportunity, I don't understand.
It costs them nothing to put him on the rookie list for a year, and if it doesn't work, so what?
Nothing.
Do you know what I mean? I think I saw that clip where it was emotional. So obviously he's a really good leader, tough as nails, big heart, just gets the ball, gets the job done, puts it all together as a footballer. Obviously might not have blistering speed, might not have brute strength.
Skills not as great as everyone else's.
But there's something about a guy that just wants to compete, and from all reports, that's him in spades. So it cost them nothing to put him on a rookie list for a year. and see where it goes. But Mano did it. He's at Geelong and see what he's doing.
Again, you wonder why Geelong are good because they pick up these gems, they play outside of their pay packet, and that's why they're so good. And I honestly think recruiters, they cook it, man. How many times do they take first rounders? You're looking at one and blow it. And when I say blow it, I'm talking like if you've had pick 6 and they don't play 20 games, right? How can you not have a punt on a bloke like this who's just done that, but he's stacked years and years of footy? You can tell his character is first class. You can tell his professionalism inside the club is going to raise the roof for the group because he's going to compete and he's going to just keep rocking up and in the gym and where they do Pilates offside, they do hands touch in meetings. He's going to be accountable. He's going to be questioning people. He's going to want to learn. He's going to be around the 18-year-olds because that's what happens. You come through with the 18-year-olds that get drafted and the rookie list, and you kind of come through together. You play down in the seconds together. You're always trying to get better. Tell me how someone like that can't get on a list earlier.
They should, and I hope he does. I don't know if he will, to be honest, but because history suggests he will. I was a mature age pick as well. So Mick Barlow, I was 21, so I turned 20.
But he's 26.
Yeah, he's 26. Mick Barlow, the same. Yeah. Sometimes like you go through it, the longer way, and it's better for you. I think he'll be, as you just hit the nail on the head, he will be so good for young 18-year-olds to learn the craft of AFL football, the professionalism. I know he's not an AFL footballer now, but he's a good leader, he's professional, and he's a competitor. And sometimes, as you said, when you're coming up with these guys, you lift them up a little bit more. So
I don't know him from a bar of soap.
Neither.
But I'd imagine he's working as well. So imagine chucking him in an AFL, program where it's full-time dedication to football and your craft and your fitness and your professionalism and your flexibility and everything. You tell me he's not quick enough? Well, he might get quicker at an AFL club. His skills aren't as good as the elite. Well, they might get better when he's full-time. So that's kind of my point.
Yep.
Dommy Brew, hopefully you get picked up. I don't know when draft night is, but I can't wait, and I hope someone takes him.
Good luck for the weekend too. In the grand final. Well done, Dommy. You were our eye-catching moment for the week.
Eye-catcher, mate. So we should send him some RIXXs. We'll get him in the DMs and just send him a pair because he deserves them. But anyone else out there, head to rixxeyewear.com.au and use the discount code ACES for an extra 20% off. Let's dive in, mate. It's prelim week.
All right, mate. Let's crack into the games. Friday night, Sydney versus Port at the SCG. Big game.
Port have pumped them the last 8 years.
Last 8 games as well. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Haven't won since 2016.
That's a big stat, isn't it?
It's a big stat, and it's a stat that we brought up last week about that semi-final stat around getting pumped by 50-plus in the first final, and then now 12 from 12. Port,
they're different, though. Sydney are different.
The Horny one's quad was tight. Marshall out, or maybe not. I don't know. Concussion. He's out. There you go. So Dixon comes in. Sydney flying.
Dixon went out with an illness, I think.
Yeah.
Late.
Mills is injured.
Mills out. Adams in.
You'd think so.
You'd think. I'm
trusting him. If I'm the coach, I'm bringing in someone I trust, and it's him.
I'll just go straight to my tip. I'm saying Sydney. I called Sydney Geelong grand final a long way out. Yeah.
When did you do that? We'll get the tape up just to make sure.
Did I on here?
You want to get me accountable with all this shit I'm saying.
Definitely. I called Geelong. I called Geelong a long way out. I reckon it was round 18. So you
called Melbourne 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 15. Then you gave up.
Don't make me bring up the prelim again, mate.
Keep going. Sorry to cut you off there, Vicky.
So I'm going to stick with Sydney. I think and it's funny because obviously Brisbane did it to GWS as well, but they would gain a lot of confidence just like Brisbane did from their win on the weekend. They have a week off, rest up, refresh, and I just think their star power, they were the best team over the whole year, and I think they deserve to get in the grand final. I think they will. I'm not sold on Port. I know I tipped them last week, but I just think Sydney are quite more superior.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Port to make it interesting. I reckon they match up all right. And because it's a bit of a smaller deck, that midfield battle will be amazing. Drew's going to go to Heaney, right? You get someone on the wing on Goulden. I don't think Drew's got the speed for Warner. I think a Rosie-Warner matchup is everything you want in a final.
Yeah, Butters has kind of been tagged a lot in recent times.
Bit
Does
banged
someone
up,
go
row bottom?
I think maybe Jimmy Jordan. He's kind of had a role like that recently, so maybe that'll be something to look out for. I know that Butters was saying.
I kind of think Sydney will win, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'll go against you for a bit of luck. But I think you'd think Sydney at home. And they start well.
I'm looking forward to this game. I think Sydney deserve to get to the grand final.
They do.
I'd like them to get in, and we'll crack on to the Saturday night.
For some reason, this final excites me more.
You're going. So
I'm going, but there's something about these two teams. Geelong, they smacked Port. They really surprised me. I didn't think they were that good. You got Stewart who will come back in, you'd think. There's a few selection issues for the head coach. You'd hate to be a head coach making these decisions. But then Brisbane, no changes, you'd imagine.
No changes.
Their win last week, it's the greatest win ever, as we just said in the semi. The confidence would be through the roof. The MCG doubts are not really there, I don't think. It's just more external bullshit. I just think Brisbane, if they play really well in this prelim, they've got all the momentum to take this. And then they've been, we forget quickly, like they were in the granny last year and lost by a kick. I would be happy to see Brisbane win.
Same.
And I'm happy for anyone to win. I think any team left deserves it, but for some reason, I felt like they've a bit of hard luck stories the last 4 years. I feel like they've been around the mark and they just haven't been able to get it. And for some reason this year, I didn't think this was their year because they had all those injuries at the start. You some ACLs, so some big player, Lincoln McCarthy, and their halfback. And I don't know, I just feel like they're really getting going. And Joey Danaher, Sam Taylor is one of the best defenders in the comp. He's out marking him do they have an answer for Joe Danaher?
Well, that's the thing.
They normally do Geelong, but
do they? De Koning was left out last game, right? Do they have to change it up a little bit in terms of they've got Hipwood and Danaher, big units.
Charlie's fast, Raynus explosive. I think
they've got to bring him back to play on one of those bigger guys.
You'd think so. Who else is going to play on him?
Well, because you got Stewart coming back as well. So Stewart will probably come in for Mullen, who was a late in for him last time. But who do you drop?
I can't wait. I just can't wait to see how many goals Jesse Cameron kicks.
Yep.
And how many Joey kicks. Do you think they can kick 10 between them?
No. If you want my over-unders, I don't
8?
think they will. I think, they could. I'd say the over-under would be
6?
5.5.
Yeah, that's around because it's a bit dewy at night. What about Tomahawk?
I don't think they bring him in. Someone asked me about this yesterday, and I think it was my brother. He goes, they put him on as the sub, don't they? I was like, no, mate. What if a midfielder goes down? They're not putting Tom just because, what he's done for the club. He's won a couple of flags. He's been great for the club. He would love to play, but I reckon even himself, he'd be like, if you give to me a game, I don't want to play. That's the kind of guy Tomahawk is. So I don't think they bring him in. They've been going very well without him.
Neil's been pretty good.
Yeah, he has been very good.
And that'd be the guy they'd have to drop.
And is it Cam Guthrie's the other one? So he's been a star for a long time.
How do you drop someone after Pump and Port like that? It's like, it's tough.
Who are you picking?
I've been there though, mate. I've been dropped.
In the prelim?
Nah, qualifier. We played Geelong. In Geelong. Michael Johnson was out, All-Australian, calf tightness. He come in, train out, emergency.
Train out.
Got the Hilux experience, granny week.
What did you do the lap?
Yeah, it was emergency. So everyone's like, who the fuck's that? There you going, guys. Crowd's packed. They're good.
I'm going Geelong because, as I said before,
I'll go Brizzy just because of the tipping comp.
Well,
I'll see if I can just get a bit of respect back.
Yeah, well, you need it.
I don't know who will win this game. For some reason, I'm leaning Brisbane because they beat my boys, the Giants. But I'm happy either way. And I just hope I hope these games go down the AFL couldn't be happier with the semis week. How good were those two games? Every single human that likes AFL is glued to the TV. The last 5 seconds. It literally come down to the last 5 seconds.
Well, it's Christmas for the AFL in terms of what the finals have been for them so far. So anyway, hopefully some good games. What do we got, mate?
Well, we're going to put some bets on the feed and hopefully you can pick us a winner this week because you're running hot, mate. We just got to get that bet together. So make sure you head to the feed and copy us on Sportsbet Ausmerican Aces. Pig put up another special because he's running hot. It's time for Stop That. And we have a big Stop That.
You want to kick us off?
I'll tell everyone what it is.
Well, it's an open discussion here too about what's going on.
Stop that to the AFL and playing politics. And what I mean by that, fining Ken Hinkley $20,000. That's a disgrace.
$20,000. They did it to Jason McCartney last week. So they're dishing out $20,000 fines willy-nilly at the moment.
A lot of money, the $20K.
And it's let him go. You know, he didn't do anything physical. He's just there's a lot of people out there that Kenny think is childish. He needs to grow up. He apologised. And, you know, and Ginnivan's only a kid. Ginnivan's he's an adult.
He's a cheeky young man.
He's a cheeky young man. And, you know, Kenny's done some stuff over the years. You know, it's not his first little indiscretion. And this is what we get to. There's been a few of these over the years where coaches have lipped off to players, and there's been a few barbs thrown. And from what I gather, there hasn't been $20,000 fines out. So stop that to the AFL, dishing out these $20,000 fines, and we're just going to run through a few of them.
Just on that, have you seen Ken Hinkley's 2003 GFL Grand Final speech?
No.
What gives them the right? Have you seen it? Oh my! Have you seen it, Brado? It's anyone out there. I want you to go on your YouTube and type in Ken Hinkley 2003 GFL Grand Final. He's in there and he goes, "What gives them the right to come in here?"
Is that Ken Hinkley?
Yes.
Is that Ken Hinkley?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
One of the boys sent it through the other day. Anyway, while we're on the fines, I just saw. Go watch that if you want to just fire the boys up before you go out in the piss. What gives them the right to come in here and do exactly? I can't remember what he says, but you watch it. It's gold. Back to the fines though. There's been a few. So we're going
to name a few where they didn't get fines.
Yeah,
and what's
coaches
worse?
that have carried on.
What's worse?
Yeah,
you know, I'm sure it's not Kenny Hinkley having a little laugh and saying, "Great game, mate," like blah blah blah. You know,
a plane.
Who's doing that?
Kenny, that's what he said. He just, you're not on the plane. What?
Jump on the plane, mate. Enjoy the flight.
You're not flying
Enjoy
anywhere.
the flight, Jack.
Yeah, $20K.
I'm a good lip reader. That's what I reckon it was saying. And also, there's a few other lip readers I'm saying. We've got Kevin Sheedy, the old
slit the
throat and point. No fine.
No, not $1.
Not $1.
Jeez, the time.
A long time ago.
Yeah,
we're going back to the 90s. That's worse than Ken.
What would that be worth now?
That's $50,000. If Kenny's getting 20 for that, slitting the throat and pointing at someone like in anger, mind you, he looked like he wanted to kill him. That scares me even thinking about it. We've got what else we got? You want to go next?
I think there was one with Malthouse and Milne. We'll skip over that one, but that wasn't a great look for the AFL. There was a couple others as well. I think Chris Scott and Chris Fagan had a bit of a tiff on the boundary line, and both stories talk about when you get in trouble in the schoolyard, and one story is completely different to the other, or something like that going on. So I don't think they got a fine. They got to please explain.
And well, I mean, there's probably thousands, and hopefully,
but there's one cracker out there.
There's Brad Scott. We're talking about the Chris Scott before, but Brad Scott and Kingy, the little rub of the shoulder. Obviously, they've had a few indiscretions.
What did he say when he ran past?
He ran past, and if you can read his lips, I think he called him a weak. Weeks. I won't say the word, but. And this is just a clip I found before.
The press conference is the best.
The press conference afterwards, the media asked him about it.
Play it next to the mic.
The media asked him about Brad Scott and David King and their.
Talking about David King in years. Did you make the beeline for him at all? Because the camera shot it. Yeah, I get frustrated sometimes when the cameras are too close to our huddle, but there was a time I put my shoulder straight through David King, and it was at the Gabba in the early 90s or late 90s. And he didn't respond then either. So not about to start doing that again.
I loved it.
You can't be
there was a
that.
time where I put my shoulder through David King at the Gabba, and he didn't respond then either.
No fine.
Hey, no fine. And Kenny gets 20
outstanding.
grand.
And
So-
Kenny's apologised. He opened up his presser with an apology.
So stop that to the AFL. Kenny's got bills to pay.
He's got bills to pay and he's got emotions and he wears his heart on his sleeve
He
and
does.
that's what you want.
Remember this, and I don't know when this was. I think it was Adelaide versus Port, and they won. And I think he was under the pump. They were saying, and he was like, 0, 4. Do you remember that, bro? Like, it's anyway. So what I'm getting at is he's done it before. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's an emotional man. So, should he have done it? Probably not. Did it look shit? Probably. Is it worth 20 grand? No. So, I'm sure if he had his time again, he probably would have bitten his tongue, maybe
Good for the
smirked at
game,
him.
though. I think
Exactly.
We can't wait to see Hawthorn play Port next year. The hype will be elite. There'll be plenty of boos if Kenny's still coaching. And does he get another gig next year?
Kenny
Yeah.
got him through to a prelim.
But if they lose it? The talk was always they need to get to the granny.
Yeah.
And because we're having a laugh, because Carr's sitting there in the box seat, he's going to get the handover. And I reckon when they won on the weekend, he went, fuck. Is that close to getting the gig? I'm only joking. He definitely didn't do that. But does Kenny get extended if they make a granny? Clearly, if they win it, you got to think.
I reckon they keep him. You can't get rid of someone. They make him do a prelim. When did the last time that happened?
Happened to Mick Malthouse. They got rid of him. But did Mick Malthouse lose a granny or win a granny and Nathan Buckley comes straight in? Brado, you're a Collingwood fan.
Yeah, but they had the succession plan already in place.
Yeah, but the succession plan you can shove it up my ass, the succession plan, because they fucking went to a granny and that succession plan didn't work.
Hey, they didn't. They kept going on with it.
Yeah.
I guess a plan's a plan.
Golden child.
Well, that's all we've got, Pig.
Yeah, it was good.
Big week, prelim week. Next week, AFL granny. Subscribe to Ausmerican Aces. It is all happening. If you love AFL, well, you get the best of both worlds. You get two clowns like me and Pig, or you get the professionals like Ads and Dunks. But also, Craig Bellamy has joined the clubhouse this week. One of the most successful coaches, to be honest, to ever live in Australia. 15 prelims out of 22 seasons. That is extraordinary. And a Melbourne Storm coach. A town where there's not a lot of rugby. It's outstanding. Check out that podcast the Clubhouse Boys do. Our NFL podcast is up. Sipos is on fire. Thank you to everyone who has been with us all year. We promise you we are going to finish with a bang. Next week, we're going to have a few massive guests and a few big giveaways. So get online, get ready for the socials, because you're going to see a lot coming through on the Ausmerican Aces account. Thanks for your support. Hope your team's still playing. All the best this weekend. Hope your team wins, and we'll see you next week. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.